Hello and welcome, I'm Tom Porteous and you're watching Hollywood Corning. Let's take a look at the top entertainment stories of the week. The 2026 Oscars nominations reveal Sinners leading with 16, including Best Picture and Best Director. The new category for Best Casting has been introduced alongside stricter voting requirements. Disney's Zootopia 2 has officially hopped to the top, becoming Hollywood's highest-grossing animated film, with a jaw-dropping $1.7 billion worldwide. Ben Affleck discussed AI's impact on the creative industry, praising its potential in writing and set creation. He cautioned, however, that AI can't produce meaningful scripts or movies on its own. This week is a major moment for One Direction fans as Harry Styles, Louis Tomlinson and Zayn Malik all released music after years of distance. The band members are reconnecting through their music. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences has unveiled the full list of nominations for the 2026 Oscars, with Sinners emerging as the clear frontrunner. The Warner Brothers film leads the field with a record-breaking 16 noms, including Best Picture, Best Director for Ryan Coogler, and Best Original Screenplay. Close behind is One Battle After Another with 13 nominations, while Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, and Value each earned 9 nods. The nominations were announced by Danielle Brooks and Lewis Pullman in a live presentation from the Academy's Samuel Goldwyn Theatre. This year also marks the introduction of a new Oscar category for Best Casting, the first new category added since the Best Animated Feature in 2002. The Academy has also tightened voting rules, requiring members to confirm they have all watched the nominated films in a category. Hosted by Conan O'Brien for the second consecutive year, the 2026 Academy Awards will air live on March the 15th. Now, Brooklyn Beckham made explosive claims in a series of Instagram posts accusing his parents, David and Victoria Beckham, of undermining his relationship with wife Nicola Peltz. He said they tried to control their family's narrative in the media and even hijacked his wedding's first dance. Brooklyn revealed that he did not want to reconcile with his parents, explaining it was the first time he was standing up for himself. Prior to the posts, Brooklyn had been silent for years but felt forced to speak out after his family allegedly continued to go to the press. David Beckham responded, calling social media dangerous but emphasizing the power it has when used positively. He acknowledged that children make mistakes and even defended his use of social media for causes like UNICEF. He also commented on the need to let his children learn from their own mistakes. The Beckham family drama continues to unfold as Brooklyn's accusations stir up. Some news from the fashion world now, and the Italian designer Valentino Garavani has died at the age of 93 at his home in the Italian capital. Known as the Emperor of Couture, Valentino shaped modern luxury and created one of fashion's most powerful signatures, Valentino Red, inspired by a moment at an opera house in Barcelona. He was the first Italian designer to conquer Paris haute culture, dressing icons like Jackie Kennedy to Hollywood stars, including Elizabeth Taylor, Sharon Stone and Penelope Cruz. Valentino believed beauty was essential and made sure every collection included at least one red dress. He built a global fashion empire with lifelong partner Giancarlo Giametti before retiring in 2008. Even after selling the brand, his influence endured. Valentino leaves behind a legacy defined by elegance, passion and timeless beauty. Joining us now is Roshmila Bhattacharya, a senior journalist and author, joining us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much for joining us. How will Valentino Garavani's death impact the fashion world, and what legacy does he leave behind?
I think it's a huge loss because it's kind of the end of an era, literally. with Valentino, what kind of set him apart from other designers was the timelessness of his designs. Also, just the name Valentino was a label that everyone aspired to. Because it came with a reputation. It was worn by princesses and queens, by the top Hollywood stars, and because I believe that fashion is aspirational, everyone aspired to have at least one Valentino in their closet. And it is, that dress could be worn from 1960 to the present day, and the person would still stand out in the crowd. So I think that is, but I feel that even though Valentino is no longer a part of us, his designs will remain with us because each item that he designed will remain timeless. You can wear it forever.
And Rashmila, how would you define Valentino's impact on modern fashion? And why did Valentino Red become such a powerful global symbol?
I think what Valentino represented was quality. Again, the timelessness, and this is what set him apart. Even his choice of color. At a time in the 60s, in his own native country, Italy, which is known for its love for color, he introduced the pristine white collection. And he kind of dressed Jackie Kennedy in her white gown when she got married the second time. And that gown, a bride could happily wear today. So I think that even though Valentino is gone, he will always be a part of modern fashion, which kind of the modern fashion thrives on constant change, on controversy, on trying too hard. And Valentino was, he never tried too hard. He set his own trends. He was dramatic without the drama, and that is what I think modern fashion designers should aspire to.
Okay, Rashmila, do stay with us as we move on to our next story and we move over to Hollywood. And Zootropolis 2 has made box office history. The Disney sequel is now the highest grossing animated film ever from Hollywood, taking in $1.7 billion worldwide. That pushes it past Inside Out 2 and places it as the 9th biggest film of all time globally, alongside titles like Avatar and Titanic. Released in November, Zootropolis 2 also scored the largest opening weekend for an animated film and became the fastest to cross the $1 billion mark. The film reunites Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde in a new mystery and was made on a budget of around $150 million. Disney says the success belongs to fans all around the world, but despite the milestone, the top animated film overall remains China's Ni Jia 2, which earned more than $2.2 billion. Rashmila joins us once again. What does Zootropolis 2's success say about audiences right now?
I think we are living in a digital age, and more than movies or more than series, it's the reels that catch the eye. Literally everyone has their head in their phones watching reels. So the attention span has gotten smaller, and in this attention span, the top stars are suffering because you kind of need something which you can just watch. I mean, you don't have to really pay a lot of attention. You don't have to sit for 2 hours and watch it at one go. And that's where I think animation comes in. Of course, the fact that anime has worked hugely, the fact that China's biggest hit last year was an animated film, the fact that even Zootopia is one of the biggest Hollywood films to do well in China proves that it is moving into new territories. As far as Asia is concerned, there's always been a huge market for animation, and that is what Zootopia has tapped in a big way. And I think that is the reason for Zootopia 2 doing so well. It's not just the West, it's found a new market. China being the one of the most populous countries in the world, it has given it the kind of numbers that 10 years ago, even though Zootopia, the original film, did well, the numbers this time are so much more bigger. And I think this augurs well for animation. Even in India, one of the biggest hits, surprise hits of the year, was an animated film, Mahavatar Narsimha. So I think, we are going to see animation finally come into its own. There was a time when animation was only associated with cartoons, no longer so. It's very much adult content today, engaging, entertaining adult content.
Roshmila, do stay with us once again as we move to some further Hollywood updates. And James Cameron is once again closing the door on one of cinema's most debated endings. The Titanic director says he's tired of being asked whether Jack could have survived on the floating door with Rose. Speaking on the Hollywood Reporters Awards Chatter podcast, Cameron bluntly told fans to stop asking about it. Despite the frustration, he explained the question was tested scientifically. Experiments showed survival would have required knowledge of hypothermia that simply did not exist in 1912. Cameron said that within the film's reality, Jack could not have lived. The filmmaker also reflected on his legacy, recently becoming the first director to deliver 4 films crossing $1 billion globally, including Titanic in the Avatar franchise. Roshmila joins us once again. After all these years, why do you think the Titanic ending still sparks such debate?
I think the fact is that we fell in love with Jack and Rose all those years ago. We haven't forgotten them. We are still very much in love with them, and we want this love story that has kind of inspired love stories on screen and off it to continue. But my argument here, and I completely agree with Cameron, is that you cannot have Titanic 2, because with Jack gone, if Rose was to find another love, it would just ruin the magic of Titanic. So this is one story which ended the way the way it ended. You can't have it go on. And personally, I feel that no matter how big a franchise is, after part 3, it takes a lot to carry it further. There is a certain amount of course it goes on nostalgia, but after a point fatigue sets in, even with the audience. So I think he made a very wise decision at that point to not think of taking this story ahead. And interestingly, when Titanic re-released on the 100th year when the Titanic set sail, John Lando, the producer, had come to India, and he was promoting the film. And during an interview with me, he told me that like Rose and Jack, he met his wife on a film set, and for several months he used to drop her off on dates, and then one day they went out for dinner, and they've been forever since. And I think that even though Titanic did not have a happy ending on screen, off it had a happy ending for John and Barbara. And interestingly, he was carrying the Oscar that Titanic won in his backpack, and he let me hold it. So I would say that I'm one of the privileged few who, without doing much, got to hold the Oscar. So that was one of the high points of my life.
Roshmila, thank you very much for joining us. It was a pleasure to talk to you here today on NewsX World. We now move on, and Hollywood star Ben Affleck is being praised for his insight on artificial intelligence. On the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, Affleck discussed how AI could impact movies and the creative industry. He said AI can be useful tools for writers like drafting letters, but warned it's unlikely to create meaningful scripts or movies on its own. Affleck highlighted the positive uses too, such as generating complex sets like the North Pole without leaving the studio, saving time and money. Fans and industry insiders have lauded his thoughtful take, noting his history of predictating industry trends, including the rise of Netflix and Spotify, years before they launched. And Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are sharing how streaming platforms are changing action movies. Once again, on the Joe Rogan Experience, Damon explained that Netflix pushes big action sequences to the start of films to hold viewers' attention at home. Traditionally, action is set pieces built to a finale or in the third act, but now Netflix even encourages repeating plot points in dialogue for audiences who might be distracted. Affleck added that this streaming formula isn't the only path to success. He cited Netflix hit Adolescence, which thrives on long, quiet, intense scenes. The two were promoting their new Netflix film, The Rip, about Miami cops who discover hidden money. It released on January the 16th. This week is a huge one for One Direction fans, as the 4 of the band's members are dropping new music all within the same week. Harry Styles is all set to drop the first single from his eagerly awaited 4th album, Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally, on January the 23rd. Meanwhile, Louis Tomlinson's new album, How Did I Get Here, also drops on the same day. Tomlinson has already released singles like Lemonade and Imposter, and he's expressed deep gratitude to his fans for their support over the years. Zayn Malik kicked off his Las Vegas residency on January the 20th, playing a mix of his hits and new songs. He teased that his new album is coming soon, making it an exciting time for his fans. After years of distance, it's clear the band's members are reuniting through their music, and fans couldn't be more thrilled. Jennifer Lawrence, the Oscar-winning actor, has revealed she missed out on a role in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood after online backlash. Lawrence said she was approached for the role of Sharon Tate, but internet trolls claimed she was not pretty enough. She said the criticism may have influenced the decision, though she admitted it's also possible she was never seriously considered. The role eventually went to Margot Robbie. Prince Harry has given emotional testimony in a UK court. The Duke of Sussex told British judges that the tabloids he is suing made his wife Meghan's life, quote, an absolute misery. Harry was speaking during a long-running legal case against Associated Newspapers, publishers of the Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday, over alleged unlawful information gathering. Fighting back tears, he described the legal battle as a horrible experience, saying the press attention has only intensified since he chose to take a stand. Harry said the litigation itself has triggered renewed attacks, adding that the toll on his family has been deeply painful. And that's a wrap on this episode of Hollywood Calling. Your dose of stars, style and stories returns very soon.